Hello and welcome back to the channel. I am Justice and this is Speed Duel Best Case Scenario. These are the cards we want to see. And today we are doing Seeker's best cards. Tara, what cards are we putting in?
We are putting in monsters such as Crusader of Endymion. You may be saying, what? All right, let me explain. See, Seeker plays Exodia pieces, all right? 80% of Exodia pieces are what we like to call normal monsters.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know how to
Some of
make...
his other cards were actually just vanillas too.
Yep. So, what do you do with vanillas, but still make it cool? Geminis.
Absolutely. Geminis usually have decent stats. They have sometimes a cool effect if you Gemini summon them, and they have some cool support cards as well.
Yep, exactly. And you're going to see them all right here, right now. Starting with Crusader of Endymion. Light, Spellcaster, 1900, 1200, level 4. All the Gemini monsters will say this chunk of text here. Essentially, you normal summon them again to have them gain whatever effect is written on the second half of the card. For Endymion, it is, you target a face-up card that you can place a spell counter on, place a spell counter on it, and if you do, it gains 600 attack until the end of the turn. So this, think about things we already have in Speed Duel, like Breaker, that this would not only give Breaker its spell counter back, but also make it go way up to 22. So, not bad.
Good. All right, next we have Dark Valkyria. She is a Dark Fairy, 1800, level 4. When she is Gemini summoned, it says once while this card is face up on the field, you can place a spell counter on it. This card gains 300 attack for each spell counter on it. You can remove one spell counter from this card, then target one monster on the field and straight up destroy it. That's pretty good.
Pretty good. You have to Gemini summon it to get that effect, but once you get it, really good. It also works really well with Crusader of Endymion, who we just read. So that is awesome. Because Valkyria only, like on her own, only does it once. But Endymion can say, nah, you can have that effect again.
It's fine. Give her a second spell counter, let her pop a second card.
Yep.
It's not bad.
Yep. All right. We're going to keep going with the Geminis. We got Dark Storm Dragon. This art is really cool. It's a dark dragon. And his Gemini effect is, once per turn, send a face-up spell trap you control to the graveyard to destroy all spell and trap cards on the field. So, you're just giving up one face-up spell or trap you have to just, like, heavy storm your opponent? That's not bad.
Yeah.
That is not bad at all. All right.
Okay. Evocator Chevalier. So, he's a 1900 warrior, so you can rota him. His Gemini ability is you can send one face-up equip card you control to the graveyard, then target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. So not necessarily as easy to pull off as the Dark Valkyria, but he is a 1900 body. He is a rota target. Not bad.
Yep, and some of the equip cards in this deck are pretty good. You'll see those in a few minutes.
Yes.
So that's what makes this card really good, honestly. All right, next, in order to give you some Exodia love, because I know if we didn't...
Did you skip the other Evocator?
What? Oh, I skipped it. Sorry. There's another Evocator monster. It's also a rota target. It's a Fire Warrior. If it's normal or special summon, so when you Gemini summon it or you special summon it? What? That's weird. Whatever. Somebody tell me how the hell this ruling works, because I don't know how you special summon a monster that needs to be Gemini summoned to activate. What? All right. You can target one fire monster or one Gemini monster in your graveyard except itself and special summon it. So, I mean, it's basically recursion for any of your Gemini monsters or any of your fire warriors, which is like, I think the only one relevant in Speed Duel, including this card pool, would be the stuff we have in here. So,
there's also Joey support, could be Fire Warrior, and Command Knight.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Command Knight. Yeah, so it's Command Knight synergy. That's kind of cool. All right, yeah, but I have no idea how special summoning this card works unless one of the like Gemini combo spells has that effect, which it might.
Right.
So, okay. All right. So
the next one is Exodius, the ultimate Forbidden Lord, and we had to put this in here because you can't have a Seeker deck without some nod to Exodia. Well, this one's actually pretty cool. So this one lets you send normal monsters from your deck to the graveyard. And also, to special summon this, you can, what is it, shuffle in your graveyard to your deck?
All the normal monsters. No,
All
no,
the
you're
normal
right.
monsters.
Yeah, all monsters. Sorry, all monsters.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not bad. And then he starts refueling your grave and getting bigger and bigger.
Yep.
But it's easy special summon, so there's probably something you can do with that, whether it's a tribute summon or what.
Yeah, exactly.
Creature swap.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. That's actually funny. What? All right. Next up, we have Future Samurai from the future.
Okay.
Another Rota target for Geminis. Geminis need Rota to be off that list. Let me tell you that. And Gemini effect is once per turn, you can banish one monster from your graveyard to target one face-up monster on the field. Destroy that target. So it requires setup in the grave. It requires a Gemini summon, but once per turn, destroy a face-up monster. Pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, what is this? Geminis Lord Golker Nut. Look, it's a cool card. All right. Now, this one, if it is Gemini summoned, you can add one spell or trap card from your deck or hand that has Gemini Monster in its text. So this is actually a tutor for your support cards.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
And then it has another thing that says this card becomes a machine monster and it gains 500 attack.
It becomes a machine, you say? Limiter removal confirmed.
A Rota target that becomes a machine.
Pretty cool.
All right.
Next up, we've got another Rota target. That is Knight Day Greffer, with Knight spelled with a K because, warrior knight, get it? Haha. All right. Gemini effect is during your end phase, you can target one equip spell in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Considering there's a couple of good equip spells in this deck that we're going over, this effect actually becomes pretty good late game, so it becomes a very good one of in any Gemini deck. Yep.
The big bad boss.
It's the boss.
Phoenix Gearfried. So what this guy does, if he is Gemini summoned, if your opponent activates a spell card, you can target a Gemini monster in your graveyard, special summon it during either player's turn. When a spell or trap card activates that targets a monster on the field, you can send a face-up equip card you control to the graveyard to negate the activation and destroy it. This card's pretty powerful, but it requires you to not only get it out somehow, so maybe 2 tribute summoning it, and then you have to summon it again.
Yes.
It's a little rough, but the payoff's nice.
Yes, it is. Yeah, the payoff is a very strong card.
I would say this is the first card in our set that you probably need a skill for.
Yeah, probably. You would. But it would be fun to try to consistently summon this regardless, because there are things that exist. Like if you could get this into the graveyard, you could swing a memory set, for example, right? Mm-hmm. And then you could activate it, but then it's it can't attack. Actually, no, it gets destroyed in the end phase, so it's you're only getting 1 turn out of it, but it's pretty big. So sometimes that 1 turn is just enough because it can't be targeted, so it could just be immune to whatever your opponent has, if you have an equipped spell, of course. So I don't know. It's cute. I like it, but yeah, it might need a skill. All right. Let's move on to those fabled equip spells. We got Archfiend's Staff of Despair. Equip only to a monster you control, so you can't put it on an opponent's monster. You can make all monsters your opponent currently control lose attack equal to half the equipped monster's attack. You put this on Gearfried, all your opponent's monsters can lose 1,400 until the end phase. And then, if this equip spell goes to the graveyard, so if you use Gearfried's effect to negate, then you pay 1,000 life points and just return it to your hand. So
that's nice.
So you just have infinite equip spells potentially. So that is pretty sick.
It's a pretty solid card overall, but a deck that actually wants equips would enjoy something like this.
Yep.
Ooh, next is a big one. I know a lot of people want this card. So what you can do with it in current Speed Duel, you can make Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon or Red Eyes Meteor Dragon, or nothing too impressive really that you can make with this. But hey, It's easier to do than with, say, a polymerization.
Yeah.
Now, what we are making with this is actually a pretty cool card. This is Super Alloy Beast Raptinus.
Yeah.
Just takes a Gemini plus a Gemini. Doesn't matter what your Gemini monsters are. You got 2 of them. You're making this guy. Now, he is pretty big. What is that, 20, 23?
22.
22. Okay, yeah. My bad. He's a 2200, so not bad. All Gemini monsters on the field are treated as effect monsters and gain their effects. You don't have to Gemini summon them anymore. So if you just summon a Gemini monster and then special summon this guy, your other guy gets its ability immediately, whether that is popping a card or searching a card.
Yep.
Not bad.
It's
as long as you can protect this card, you've got a nice theme going.
Yep. And I do wonder if this is the rulings thing I was wondering about. So, like, if you have this and then you special summon a Gemini monster, one of these that says they activate when they're special summoned, yeah, like this one, right? So if you special summon this while you have Raptinus face up, does this trigger because it was special summoned as a Gemini monster with its effect? I don't know. That's probably a question for a judge.
I'm pretty sure the answer to that would be yes.
Okay, so that's cool. So that's how that works. So that's why this is relevant. Where if you have something like Raptinus on the field that special summons it while it's a Gemini monster, or it instantly becomes a Gemini monster on summon, then you should be able to resolve this effect on special summon, which is cool. All right.
Yep.
Next up, we got to give you a couple staples here. One of our staples is 4 Bidden Chalice. Target a monster on field. That target gains 400 attack, but its effects are negated. This kind of synergizes with the theme of like vanillas, kind of, because it makes any monster a vanilla until the end of the turn. So that is kind of cool, and it's also a battle trick. So very versatile card. Reminds me a little bit of Book of Moon in that respect. So I like it.
Yeah, this is a cool card because it can be used to negate your opponent's cards, or it can be used to buff your own cards. I like that. Cards that have more than one use. Always love those types of cards.
Yep.
What's interesting is if anyone thinks this is too strong, I think you're just wrong, because this card isn't even played in Edison.
No, it's not.
No one even uses it. It's too weak.
Yep. You can play this card on Jirai Gumo to make it not flip a coin, by the way.
What crazy cards are you negating with this?
Yeah.
I think it's completely fair and has some versatility, so would see some use.
Yep. Agreed. All right. Next up, we have a continuous spell. This is called Gear Breed. During your draw phase, instead of your normal draw, you add an equip spell from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Now, this is very important, right? If it's an only deck, it means this card is bad late game because you might have already drawn your powerful equip spell that you actually want. But now, even if this card you draw at late game, because you're probably not playing more than one of these, let's be honest, right? Even if you draw this late game, your equip spell could be in your graveyard, and that's fine. You can just pick it up from there. Then there's more to it, though. Obviously, it would be a bad card if you just played it and had to wait until your draw phase. So if you have an equip spell, you can place a Fire Warrior monster or a Gemini monster from your graveyard on the bottom of your deck, draw a card. So you're immediately drawing a card. So it upstarts itself right away, as long as you are playing this deck, right? And then during your draw phase, you just get to pick up an equip spell. So it's pretty good. Yep.
Ooh, this is the GOAT. This is the card when it comes to Geminis.
Yeah.
Gemini Spark. Quick play spell that says tribute a face-up Gemini monster. Doesn't need to be Gemini summoned. Just needs to be a Gemini monster. Then target a card on the field, destroy it, and then draw a card. This is great. This is a really nice card.
Yeah, this is the card. I think it was DG Kuhn who said this to me recently. It was like, this is the card that sometimes can teach you that going neutral in resources technically can generate advantage. Because here you are losing 2 cards, the Spark and the Gemini monster. Your opponent is losing 1 card, so you're down 1, but you draw a card, so you're neutral. Yeah. Right? However, if you time this correctly, because it's a quick play, you have managed to dodge some kind of removal or an attack or something like that.
Yep.
So you are gaining an advantage.
Chaining this to a wall of disruption or something
widespread
of that nature,
right,
is very good.
Yeah.
Floodgate Trap Hole.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty cool. All right. Next up, we got another staple for you. This is Goldsark. Goldsark is just solid for any kind of combo decks or any kind of decks with a big boss monster. This will help you search for your big boss monster.
Yep.
And that's really all there is to it. So
Yeah, Goldsark is really only as good as what it can search.
that's true.
In Speed Duel, we don't have too many crazy things for it to search, so I don't think the card being at 3 would be broken.
Nope.
Could it add a little bit of consistency to decks playing Dragoon or something like that? Maybe. Yeah, I think it would be fun to try out, though, either way.
Yeah. All right. Next up.
Supervise. All right, this is we keep talking about equips, and we've only showed you one equip that is decent and one continuous spell that gets you equips. This is the equip card for Geminis.
Yes.
Equip only to a Gemini monster. It becomes an effect monster and gains its effects. If this face-up card is sent to the graveyard from the field, target one normal monster in your graveyard and summon it. So why that's so relevant is all the Gemini monsters in your hand or graveyard are treated as normal monsters.
Field or graveyard.
So yeah. So when this card leaves the field, you just get one of your Gemini monsters back, and it was a special summon, so you're easily able to normal summon it.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, this is the card. So this Spark and some of the good Gemini monsters are really what makes the deck.
Yeah.
The rest of it is just support for that 3 card like core. Yeah. That this is the equip spell that all the fire warriors talk about.
I mean, think about Supervise on a Gearfried.
Yep.
A Phoenix Gearfried.
Yep.
So you normal summon your Phoenix Gearfried, and then you equip this to it, so he gains his effect, and then you get to use his effect to pop that, do its effect, and then get back another monster. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Not only that, but if you have the Phoenix Gearfried in your graveyard, this recursion effect just brings it out.
Yeah.
So you don't need to tribute 2, you just need to get it in your grave.
That's a good point.
Yep. Pretty cool. All right. Next up, we have another equip spell. This is the last one. This is Symbols of Duty. Send a normal monster you control to the graveyard, then target one monster in either player's graveyard. Special summon it. So at the cost of a normal monster, you get any monster from that's in either graveyard back. So if your opponent is playing a graveyard-centric strategy and they've got a powerful card in their graveyard, you revive this before they might, right? Like, if you think about the mirror, it'd be kind of funny to steal your opponent's Phoenix Gearfried before they have a chance to bring it back. Or your own. Why not? But yeah, just in general, there's no restriction on it. It doesn't say normal monster. So your opponents summoned an Izana and put it in their graveyard, and you managed to out it somehow, right? Now you can take an Izana, and you have a monster that will crack back on being targeted. So whatever.
Also, this card does not say tribute a non-token, which is kind of nice.
Ooh.
So there is a skill we have that generates tokens, and you can contribute those tokens to special summon something. It's not bad.
I didn't think about that. That's pretty sick. Yeah. All right. Symbols of Duty, good card with the macro skill, the token skill, confirmed. All right. Next up, we've got Rocket Hand, Drake. What is Rocket Hand?
This is a great battle trick. Target one attack position monster you control with 800 or more attack. Equip this card to that target. It gains 800. Okay, that's a solid boost. You can send this card you can send this card to the graveyard, then target one face-up card on the field and destroy it. That's really good.
Pretty good.
Then change the attack of the monster this card was equipped to 0. Okay, so it has a downside. Also, in battle position cannot be changed. Its battle position cannot be changed. You can only use one Rocket Hand effect per turn and only once that turn. So you can't use both effects in the same turn.
Yeah. But this card is really cool. The downside can actually not hurt you if you play like Swordswoman. I don't want to tell people that, but there it is. So it can be a battle trick and then make your Swordswoman do a bunch of damage later. So that's
Sure.
kind of cool.
But yeah,
But
I think the way you use this card is, say, on your turn, you make your guy 800 bigger to win a battle. And then on your opponent's turn, you send this to the graveyard to pop one of your opponent's cards in their battle phase.
yep, yeah, to disrupt them.
Or the other way around, right?
Right.
Where you can initially activate it in their battle phase and then do it again in your main phase or whatever.
Yeah. No, it's a very versatile card, and that's why we like those kind of cards. In case you can't tell.
Yep.
All right. Our last card
one
is
Soul Resurrection.
Yep.
Activate this card by targeting one normal monster in your graveyard. Special summon it in defense. When this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. When that monster is destroyed, destroy this card. It's a Call of the Haunted for normals, but in defense.
Yes.
Why is that good?
It's a balanced Call of the Haunted for Phoenix Gearfried.
Yeah, and you can do it on your opponent's turn, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So 22 defense for Gearfried. Pretty good. That's probably going to block most attacks from normal summons. So you use it as a blocker, and then on your turn, it gains the effect. And, no, this doesn't equip. Just kidding. Don't worry about that. It gains its effect if you can normal summon it again. And you can equip something to it. So pretty cool.
Not bad.
Yep. Not bad at all. Also, if you use this on your opponent's turn, when you know they're playing a deck that likes to activate spell cards, you're probably going to get this first effect. So that's kind of cool. Or your opponent's not going to play spell cards, in which case, great, you shut off all their spell cards, right? Either way, it's a pretty good play to make on your opponent's turn. But also, all these spot removal effects, right? Valkyrie, Chevalier, the search effect, right? This heavy storm effect, this can literally be heavy storm with just soul resurrection. You soul resurrect the storm dragon,
right?
You summon the storm dragon again, and then you just send the soul resurrection. You lost the storm dragon, but just think of soul resurrection as reading Harpy's Feather Duster or something. It works.
It's not bad.
Yep. So
imagine if you have Raptinus on the field plus Soul Resurrection.
Yeah.
That's actually quite nasty.
Yeah, that is actually really good. Yeah. So I think a lot of these cards are not overpowered, but together, like the Spark, the Equip spell, the spot removal on the Gemini effects, together they make a very strong deck. And I think that is kind of the power level, at least us, what we want, where no individual card is broken on its own, right? But if you put like 5 of these cards together, they actually make a good deck or a good core of a deck. Obviously, you throw in your staples. And it's good, but nothing that would be oppressive, I don't think. Yeah.
I agree.
All right. Any final thoughts on Gemini Monsters and surely Seeker? That's all a lot to do.
I just got to say, the hypest things in here is Raptinus with Dragonmere, and then Gemini Spark and Supervise. So hopefully we can get some of those.
Yeah, I do hope so too. And at least a couple of decent Gemini monsters, because Ancient Gear Knight, that ain't it, dude. That ain't it.
No, that yeah, you did say decent, and he doesn't qualify.
Nah, it does not. All right, that's all we got for Seeker. Actually be more worst and best case videos later this week. We're gonna go through these rare hunters. We're gonna try to get this done because we are getting close to spoilers. As of the day this video actually goes live, it will already be August. It's wild. It's never been August before. I'm just kidding. It was
not
August.
This year.
Not this year. Exactly. This is the first time we've had August all year. It's crazy. All right. But that's all. See you in a couple of days with more. But until then, Terra Master and Drake, we're out.
Bye.